What's going on, folks? Hope you're having a wonderful night or day. Coming at you with another Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO video. This time it's not news related, no news recently, just wanted to have this discussion. Have been wanting to have it for quite a while actually, ever since I got some specific YouTube comments that we're going to be going over. Before that though, I wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for watching through the other videos that have had ads in them. I've been going through some really rough stuff these past few months, and it's not only impacted my real job, but also my frequency at which I create content. I did talk about what was going on back then, but I decided to take a lot of that stuff down and just kind of focus more on the future. But I do want to thank you guys for all your support, and going forward I do want to be transparent and say that the next videos will likely have ads on them, the next Lord of the Rings MMO videos, but I'm going to try to weave in ones that don't have ads so that we don't have to have them all the time. So what I wanted to talk about today is kind of have a discussion and do some brainstorming on what we might see class-wise in Amazon's Lord of the Rings MMO. I think it's safe to say that they will probably be incorporating some of the stuff from New World into the Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO. I have been really thinking about coming back to New World to try it again, but I just can't really bring myself to. Although Nighthaven does look really cool though as an expansion, I'm really hopeful that that one ends up being a really big success for them. But my eyes, I think, are focused more on the other games that Amazon Games has been producing, like March of Giants, perhaps King of Meat, and of course most notably the Amazon Lord of the Rings MMO. Now, one of the things I'm not sure if they should incorporate from New World is the weapon switching system. There's a comment I want to reference from about a year ago that also shared the same sentiment, where this person had also grown tired with MMOs making weapon swapping, classes being weapon based, and I have to agree with that because I think after trying both, of course, weapon based MMOs and then of course the traditional class based ones, I'm gravitating more these days towards the class ones, and I kind of miss having that agency over your character. You know, your character feeling special in the way where somebody can't just swap over to a weapon that you're using and then have all of your abilities and fill your same role. I think having healers locked into that specific role to be able to master it over time and have their character feel unique in that way is better than the weapon swapping system we've had before. Now, one thing I will say, which is kind of ironic, is I do actually hate playing alts and leveling them. I think the last time that I really enjoyed leveling alt characters was back in Terra, and that was like a decade plus ago. And that's what kind of got me on board with the weapon switching MMOs a few years ago, but I've started to realize now that I think going back to a class-based system may be the best recipe for success when it comes to this. Now, if they actually do that remains to be seen, but I'm actually very curious what you guys think about the weapon class swapping versus the traditional based class system. Also, a really cool comment that inspired this video was by Latho, where he said that if he can play an orc or some kind of dark magic user, hell yes. If not, not for me. And this actually gave me a big reminder of something I learned about while watching the Silmarillion documentary videos. If you're not familiar with the Silmarillion, it's basically the backstory of Lord of the Rings itself, and it goes over in large part the first and second age of Lord of the Rings, which takes place before the movies, as well as what happens in the very beginning. And during this documentary binge, I found out that there's actually an evil race for just about every race in Middle-earth. For dwarves and humans, there's dark dwarves and dark humans, there's orcs, which are the dark version of elves, there's ogres, which if I remember correctly are the dark version of the treants, and then the only one I wasn't sure about is if there were corrupted hobbits. I don't think there were as far as I remember. Now, we've learned previously that this Lord of the Rings MMO is going to take place somewhere in the Third Age, around the time that the Hobbit movies and Lord of the Rings movies take place, so it's very likely we might not be able to see a corrupted counterpart like the Dark Dwarves be available, but bringing in that option for just the MMO might be really cool. This also begs the question on top of this of if it should be a faction MMO or just a regular kind of MMO, and honestly I think it could be quite interesting if it was a faction-based MMO. I don't think we've been getting that many faction-based MMOs recently, and they might find some success in it. Not to mention they might pull a lot of World of Warcraft players that are looking for what that old experience of WoW used to be, because I haven't really played since Shadowlands, but if I heard correctly, the Horde doesn't seem to be what it used to. But the last thing I will say regarding this is that if they did adopt the class system, the traditional based class system again, and did it faction based, there's a large amount that they could pull from the already existing Lord of the Rings online MMO. There's a lot of different classes, like you got the Bjornings, the Minstrels, the Rune Keepers, for example, the Guardians, the Lore Keepers, a lot there. And then I'm pretty sure that they had a mode where you could actually play as like the evil side. I think it was PvP only, unless I'm misremembering, but they might be able to pull some of the classes for the evil counterparts on that side. But I'm super curious to know what you guys think about this. Please let me know in the comments below. Have a wonderful rest of your day, folks. Farewell.